Hola, Moss. Welcome to another session. Hola, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Let's wait for the people to join in. So we'll give a couple of minutes. While we wait for the people, Odita, I'm not sure what you're saying. Giving a few minutes for people to join in. This is going to be my 50th session from the last year what I started. So half a century with you all. So I hope to see my old people who have been coming from last year. I get to see them. I would be really happy to see them. So I'm just scrolling to check them if anyone have logged in who have been consistently been there. So we just give, I just joined a little early, a minute or two early. So we'll just give them another a minute or two. We'll just give them while we wait here. This thought would show some creation which happened over the weekend, some stained glass creativity which just happened. So you can have a look. Thank you, Anjali. And this is something, a nice concept which has been started by the Zentangle Certified Zentangle Teachers, called it Unity Tile, bringing in unity and solidarity. So I did this session last year with another very beautiful Certified Zentangle teacher by name, we call her Dolly. So, so, so that's Lashim has a name, but it's a very nice concept. So just thought would share this. Well, we've done it in an Indian language. We have that in an English. We're trying to do another language, English. So we've done it in an Indian language, Hindi. So we have the words out here, which is talking about our unity and solidarity. So it's a beautiful concept. So I couldn't stop with one, I did with two more, one more tile after the session. This is during the session. So we'll just wait, let me check. Okay, we're good to start. I think now we're already 8:05, so we'll start the session. Okay, this is, let's keep it aside. So grateful to all of the people who are joining my session. This is my 50th session, so a small party to you all. So it's a small cupcake to start the celebration. So it's a cute cupcake, virtual cupcake for our celebration. So I thought I will share it with you all, for being with me and continuously being with me, joining in and supporting me. And this is a small note which says that I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. I'm certified from the Zentangle Inc to teach the Zentangle art form. So I'm certified Zentangle teacher to be certified to teach the Zentangle beautiful art form to all you people, mentor and guide you through. And this art form is not just drawing; it's beyond drawing. It's the you get the real confidence, and it brings in a lot of benefits, and it's very meditative and really therapeutic. So, and this session is completely owned by me. It's a proprietorship, so no further use of this session for commercial or for teaching or any purpose. So you can spread it, you can do it. So this is only my sole proprietorship of this art form. So grateful. The tile, what we're going to use, the tools what we're going to use is, this is called as a tile, we call it. It's a 3.5-inch square tile. So this is Zentangle branded tile. It's a very nice textured one. And if you do not have these 3.5-inch tile, you're good to use any cardstock or an art paper or a paper which is good to have your inking done on it. And the other tool what we always use is a Sakura pen. And if you do not have these Sakura pen, if you have any normal pen which doesn't bleed on your paper, when I'm doing a demonstration, I use a normal gel pen, which is a classmate, which you get it in India. So this is very one. So this is just two. The reason we ask you to use the right product, because you create some beautiful art form, you need to archive it, you need to store it, and it has to come back to you as a memory. So that's the reason you need to use the right product. And Sakura has been amazing, because if I have to tell you as an example, if I have to give you an example out here, this is an art which is done around 2019, but not by Sakura. So you would see that it is kind of faded kind of a look. So that's the reason we really, but this is not, I can't tell you the brand of the product what I've used, but this is not Sakura product, I know that, because we note it behind whatever we do, experiment and everything. So that's the reason we tell you to use the right product. And then what I'm going to use, the other two tools are a graphite pencil and a stub. The graphite and the stubs are used finally to give it a three-dimensional effect to your art form. So that's what, just these three tools and these paper 4 is good enough to do it. Today I'm going to use a 01 micron pen, which is a little finer nib, and I might use a little broader pen also. So we're good to do with these tools. This is the tools what we need. So I'm just going to keep these down so that we have our space. Let's go to our practice. Anjali, these tiles, the branded tiles, I do supply as a certified Zentangle teacher if you're in India, or I supply because these getting from US, it's a little expensive. So we do supply a local tile which is there with me in different shapes and colors. So you can get in touch with me if you're interested on my Instagram chat, post this session, and I will be able to guide you on that. So these are, the tiles are mostly available with only certified Zentangle teacher. Right? Okay, now what we're going to do is, today's session, we're going to play with a pattern. It is not a named pattern. I would like you to name it, and I hope you guys like it. It's a very, very simple pattern, which I had seen it. The person who had, there's a sentimental to it, the person who had actually made me start this Zentangle art form sometime in 2016, she runs a quilt showroom, she's got a quilt place in Chennai. So she had posted in some time back, a month or 20 days or something like that, she had posted one of her quilt, very bright colored quilt, and I liked it. So I just immediately looked at it and I came up with this pattern as deconstructed it, and I shared it with her. So it's very simple. I'm doing it as a grid. So it's going to be this, and then what I'm going to do is, you can do it in different ways, so I'm just going to show you two ways. Okay, this is just a cross. Then once we've done with the cross, what we're going to do is we're going to draw this rice pearl. As you all know, this is called as a rice pearl. So we're going to do this rice pearl, and I would be moving the tile paper. So we're just going to do rice pearl on all four sides, and they're not too far off, not towards the end. You'll be giving a space. Right? Right? And then what we're going to do is these spaces, right? We're going to do a small one, but not the to this length, but a shorter length. We're going to do it a shorter length. We're going to do a shorter length of it. We're just going to do a shorter length to it. Right? And then what we do is we're just going to ink it up. Nothing. We're just going to simple. I'm just going to bring in a lot of inking, because you know that I love a lot of drama on my work. So I'm just going to ink these space in between ones. Right? And I'm just going to draw a line, which we always do it. Right? So when you're doing a grid, you could do a grid which is just going to be a grid like this, which is just going to go, I'm just going to draw an aura of this, the grid what we've drawn, square grid. You can draw it in free, which is what I will show you. What I'm going to do is, again, I'm going to draw. So it's just going to be like a single pattern and out here, and then you can do a small, this is all our embellishment. The original pattern is only the center. What I'm showing you, the outer and everything, is a little embellishment to the original one, just to make it. Right? So you can use this. So this is the pattern, and what I'm going to do on the tile would be little different, by little more inking on that. You can also do these as loose ones. So just draw very light. Don't do with a pen, but I'm just to demonstrate, I'm doing with a pens. Just do it. Just going to do it as going to do it in loose, organic way without a grid support. Right? And I'm going to do another cross. You can do cross, can be close, can be far off. So here it will not be seen because it's going to be behind. So when you do these in a bunch, they really look pretty. So now I'm just going to do another cross, which is going to be a little far off. See, it's like this is close and this is going to be far off, and this is little longer. He is doing good. My dog Tuffy is doing good. So you can do it. So you can do it in loose as a bunch, and you can just do it as a flooring and just fill it up kind of a stuff. So this is the swatch card of that pattern, what I have it on my small swatch card, right? So we're good with the pattern. So then we can go to our tile. Since you all keep asking, and he does a VIP visit to our class, so this is him in with my art, and that's him who always comes visiting right at the beginning or right at the end. That's my dog. Right, so this is going to be the pattern, and this is a swatch card, and you can do this. What I'm going to do is with the grid, you can do it in loose. So this is like in loose, it can be like a flower kind of thing. You can do that, right? So if you're good with these, let's go to the tile. Today the string, what we're going to do is a little different. So what I'm going to do first, draw a grid. So you have to watch it a little, right? So I'm going to draw the grid. So I'm going to draw the grid in pencil. And today someone had talked about the grid lines not being firm, they had. So today we will see the grids are not drawn with firm lines. It's going to be wonky lines, so you can see it. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give a little tone paper look. So that's why this is going a little sharp. So I'm just going to give a tone paper look, and we will have this as wavy when we are doing with a pen. So your lines need not be straight. If they are all bumpy, that's not a problem. Right? So we're going to give this a look. So we're going to give this look. So your grids out here, which you've drawn out, will completely, so you need to put your grids very light, because they are not going to be valid, because what the grid is going to be used is this, because to get that complete one is why I did the grid. Right? And then now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to start inking the grid. Right? And if you see it, I am not going to draw straight line. See, if you can see my lines are wavy. So this is a beautiful way which Maya had demonstrated. Maya is the person who is the main person, who is genuine, who had created this beautiful art form, and they are the creator of this beautiful art form. So it's like, so if your lines are wonky, that's good. So I'm going to just, right, so I had missed this, so I just inked that space. Now what we're going to do is, we're going to do another aura of all of these. We're going to just do an aura out here. So everything will get an aura out here. Right? So you will not get to. So we're going to do this aura is, these grids are being straight. So now if you see, these grids are going to be a little bit wonky. this inspiration I am taking it, and given mine, I want to take the inspiration from Maya, and I've used the technique which they had demonstrated. Right, so if you see that all these are wonky grids which is happening. Okay, so I hope you're getting to see it. If you can follow the wavy kind of a stuff, it's good, or if they are not in sync, is also good. So I'm getting to fill here also. What is a wonky grid is, Vijaya, is that when you draw a line which is straight, and this is kind of shaky kind of a stuff, so that's what it is, a wonky, which is not straight, symmetrical or anything. It can be just wavery kind of a stuff. So there's some people who still don't have the lines firmness being straight, so this really is a good technique for them to tell them that this is also looks good. And these are may not be the jargons, these are jargons I bring it up. Right, so we have this. So now what I'm going to do is, before I do the pattern, just to get my things, I think these are sharp, so but let me just do at one place so that so these corners just give a little thickness, right? So I'm just doing on this part, so just for me to do my pattern. Now I'm going to use my pencil and I'm just going to draw a line. Just going to draw these across lines. So the line may be till the edge, but we will use to draw the rice pearl only till, not to the full length. So we're just keeping that as a measurement to see it. So can you see that small cross which I have put inside each of these boxes now? Okay, it'll take a minute to be proper, because by the time the network settles, it takes a minute. Right, so if you see it, it's this. So now when I'm going to ink it up with my pen, you will get to see the work. So I'm going to use my 01 and I'm going to just draw my rice pearl. I keep circulating it. I'm just going to ink it up, because this is going to be a little fine. That's why I'm using a little fine ink pen. The nib is little on the finer line, right? And then what I'm going to do is just going to draw lines out here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink here. I'm just going to ink it up here like this, just bringing on it right. Basically this one's I'm just going to replicate onto this part. Right, so I'll just do a one more, and then I will so I haven't named this pattern yet, and anyone wants to come up with a name, you're most welcome. I'm most happy. So you can drop it on my here on the live, or you can do a personal message. Right? It's not that you need to do only in the grid, you can do it even loose. Right? Then what I'm going to do is if you want, you can use a little broader pen when you want to ink it up. Right? So how are you liking it? And then what we could do is we could just join these junctions by drawing these lines out here. It just gives you a different look. Yeah. So this is the swatch of the pattern which I am doing it out here, and just to show how your tile will look, this is what would our end of our tile will look. Right? I'm putting these dots as my reference points for me to draw these rice beads. Okay. So if you want, we could just do a little of our inking at the end, but this is good. You can put these as a petal in the center, or you can put it as a small orbs. What do I mean by orbs? is that in the center portions, which is what we're doing, is the flower petal. You can do it as a round one also. Right, so I'm just going to ink the space. You can do these with colors, they will look nice. It's something like what I've done on my stained glass work, so the colors also look good. If your grids are a little bigger, then you can reduce this inking space little and make the flower little bigger also. So we will do a different sizes of it to show that it need not be the same size. So now I'm going to do it here, one more. So let's do here. If you see it, I keep rotating my tile. That's the charm of the using a tile to create your work. Right, so we knew what is going to be here, so we're just going to assume that it is going to be that way, and then we're going to do that. Right, so do you like this creativity? So it's going to be, so it's easy, just do this one's is reflection, so you just do a V following it and then doing it, so it's easier to do that way. It's a very simple, but the way the end result will look, it looks different. So when you did this inking, the pattern also is coming out really nice. If you just left it, it'll look more plain, so then you'll have to do the pattern a little more bigger in the center. But when you do this inking, and it gives you a kind of a different look to the pattern. So what we're creating is that the center one we're doing with a little variation to it. The center is what the pattern is. And if you see that I've put 4 dots on all the 4 lines, cross lines, just to bring in a reference for me to draw the rice pearl. Just when I'm doing this, a thought came. I will just show you the other way also you can do, is that you can draw a square kind of a stuff and then give a shape to it also. So if you find that drawing in between is a little challenge, you can do the other way also. So we put this cross lines in pencil just for our references. And then what you can do is you can do an aura here, you can do an aura here, and then do an aura little far off, and then just extend it off. Extend it off. So that's more easier. If you feel it, you can do that. If you find this to be easier, then you can do it. And they need not be uniform. So I've used a string like a tone, and then that's coming out, okay? So that's the look it is. So what we're going to end result is that we are halfway through. So this is what our end result will look. And people have been joining in a little late, so this is some small cupcake to you all for joining my 50th celeb session. So a small goodie over for the session. Hi Shalini. So how do you like it, Shalini? So it's very simple. And if you feel you cannot draw a straight line or the patience. That's why this kind of a crooked kind of a line, which is really helps. So, and this trick is to draw a small aura on either side, on all the four sides, and just pull it up, and just pull it up in either side. So then you get to ink it up. So you get this. So these are small tricks, making the pattern look very simple. So now we're going to put 4 reference points onto these lines. So that becomes our reference point to draw a rice pearl. So what we mean by rice pearl is this kind of a shape. What we draw, we call it as a rice pearl. And we're just drawing it so simple. This is a swatch of the pattern. What we are going to do it here, we're doing it a little differently, and this is a reference to what has been created earlier, which is what our end result would be like. People who say that you can't draw lines, straight lines, this is a very good example to draw grids, which is kind of wavery and wonky kind of a stuff. Right, so we're going again drawing aura out here of these, and then we're just pulling it up, pulling it out, pulling it up, pulling it. And we're doing this because we have this paper projection, so we're just going to do this. Right. So this is a pattern which I have creating it. So if I haven't named it, so if you can give me a name for this, that will be really nice. So this is a swatch to it. So this is done in a different kind of a grid, this is done in a different grid, and what I demonstrated in the practice was this is what it is, and you could do it in free. So you can do a bunch of it, and these small petals, it can be a petal shape, or you can draw small orbs also. So that's a variation you can play with. Right, so just we're going to do the last one out here. So we just give a little thickness on the edges. We'll be using a little thicker pen out here. So how are you liking the work? No comments? Thanks, Niti. Niti, can you come up with a name for this pattern? Let's see. Thank you. So we do an aura of a V of out here, mirror it the V, and then we just pull it up. So that makes it more easier. And they need not be uniform size of the both sides. Right, so we're done with. So now I'm going to just go ink up the outer side with a little more broader nib pen. It's going to go. Right, so what I'm just going to just going to do it, just all these junctions. I'm just going to little thickening it up, just kind of a deepening it. Right, now we're just going to do shading. The rest of the work is going to be shading. That's it. See, even this simple pattern took a time for us to do it. So I'm just going to do first on the inner side. I'm just going to pull a little graphite. Just going to pull it. And if you see, I keep it flat and do it. That gives you a little more area and it gives you a different, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go on all these four sides of these junctions. I'm just going to go put a graphite. I'm just going to go on all these four junctions. I'm just going to put graphite out there. Just putting not on all these the four places, and I'm just going to put it up. And I just take my stub and I'm just going to pull it up a little more. For square. Thanks, Nidhi. So we're just going to go pull it out. Once you've done with these junctions, right? So if you've pulled up all these junctions of your graphite, then we just go here and we just pull it up here. So I'm just going to smoothen it up, and I'll just darken it up out there a little more. Right, and then I just go back and I'm just going again inking it up. I mean, not inking up, I'm just using my pencil again, graphite, and just doing another layer of it, just to give a a little right. And then what we go is we just go inside this place, inside this, all this places of us, we're just going to go for a graphite. Right, and then we're using again our graphite stub, and we're just going to pull it up. Right, am I going off the camera? That happens when I'm doing a shading, so I must have gone off conscious. That's what happens when you get involved in your art creation of it, and especially Zentangle. You completely forget that you're online and someone is watching you and you're demonstrating it, because right. And then what we do is just take the graphite and just go on the corner, just on the corner, just on the corners of all the four sides of the tile, on the edges, and we just pulling it up. Right. Thanks, Niti. So this is what we created before, and this is what we created right now. Just giving a little extension to it in pencil. So there are two different creations. And the same pattern looks done a little different out here. And the most important, we need to put our signature on it up. I haven't done it on this also, so let me just put it up here. And a party to you all, a small cupcake, and grateful to all of you joining the session. Hope you all enjoyed it. Right, so see you all. Hope you all enjoyed the session. So happy week ahead, and see you all next Tuesday for another session. Do spread it with your friends and family, make them also join the session and enjoy it. So see you all. Anyone has got any questions? So then see you all. See you next Tuesday. Have a great week. Ciao.